Your host Sakshi with your co-host Kunal, welcoming you all to this gathering at Boston Scientific.
Now, many of you have been part of the Boston Scientific journey since the beginning. But for some like us, me and Sakshi, who have just joined, you know, we all have one thing in common. And you know what that is? And that is we live by and be determined by the Boston Scientific core values. So please, can we have a big round of applause for ourselves and for Boston Scientific? Now, this is going to be a session with some great information by our leaders, followed by talent management updates, with obviously rewards and recognitions for our contributions, followed by a team picture and lunch.
So, a lot of information, Kunal. Now it's time to get the show started. It's a celebration of our hard work, achievements, and most importantly, ourselves. We would like to request our Director of Global Business Services, Asia Pacific, for opening remarks, Mr. Sudhir Dasamantha Rao. Can we please have you, sir?
Thank you, guys. Good morning. Are you all awake? Right? And good afternoon for teams in China. And thanks for joining, Matthias. So I'm sure you must be thinking that we expected a gala party in an Orana again and a lot of dance and drinks. But we changed the plans. And we changed the plans for a reason, right? So we wanted to be safe than sorrow, right? In the interest at the time when we made the decision as a GBS leadership that the things are not going in the right direction. But my promise, we will certainly do it in December. So again, welcome to this town hall, and be active participant in this town hall. I think the co-host, the host, both of them have prepared so well, and you'll have certainly some surprises. And we have some great sessions coming. We have an amazing leader, Matthias. He's going to share some of the vision on Asia Pac and a lot more agenda. Certainly, I'm sure you all are excited about the R&R, and there will be some guesses, there will be some celebrations, and thanks for joining. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Sudhir. Now, moving ahead, we now celebrate our co-founder, former CEO and chairman, Pete Nicholas, who left us for his heavenly abode earlier this year. The coming video will be a glimpse of his immense contribution and determination in shaping Boston Scientific. Video, please.
Both Pete and I really enjoyed
Of Boston Scientific and encouragement towards better tomorrow. It's time to watch a very special and impactful video from Brenda Morris, VP Business Services. Can we again have the video, please?
Welcome, GBS APAC team. I'm pleased to have this opportunity to talk with you, albeit I wish it was in person to share the excitement of all being together. We have so many new joiners, and this may be the first time you're meeting your BSC teammates. Enjoy this opportunity, and welcome to BSC GBS. There's a lot of activity in both the APAC region and GBS globally, which is very exciting and continues to result in growth for GBS APAC. To better serve the region, align with GBS across the globe, and prepare for Magellan, the new GBS APAC leadership structure has been announced. I'm excited with the new structure as I believe it will position GBS APAC for success and further growth. There have been so many accomplishments since we last spoke and new things on the horizon that I do not have time to list them all, but I would like to highlight a few things, particularly as we look forward to the second half of this year and into 2023. Elvis Phase 1 was very successful and recognized globally at the highest levels of BSC through the Winning Spirit Award. We're now on to Elvis Phase 2, which is focused on improving the processes we have insourced by looking for opportunities to drive efficiency and improve the quality while enhancing the experience of our internal and external customers of our work. MyBuy is being implemented successfully throughout the region, but we still have China and ASEAN to go, so we are maintaining focus and momentum. The ACE program, focusing on APAC regional accounting and controls excellence, was announced last week. From a GBS perspective, this provides us the opportunity to collaborate with our ADR global process team, leveraging global processes, and our A2R regional delivery team to ensure we are sensitive to regional requirements, both in partnership with the regional finance team to drive improvements in productivity and controls. Magellan will be our new BSC ERP system, and it's coming. It is being deployed in phases across the globe, with the releases planned initially in October of 2022 for Canada and the BSC Clonmel manufacturing and distribution site. After that, there will be releases every 6 to 9 months for the next few years. First up will be GBS APAC team focusing on the EMEA region, and then following shortly will be the Penang plant. These two releases will get most of APAC GBS teams involved in some manner or another, either through the A2R support for the Penang plant, the P2P support, or the customer service team, as well as our reporting teams. This is also an opportunity for our team to learn more about the new system and prepare for the broader APAC deployment in a few years. I'm really excited that Rohit will be leading this program across GBS APAC. These are just a few larger pan APAC programs happening, but there are many more efforts happening in each of your teams, ranging from work transitions, both internal or through the acquisition integration of Luminous, and VIP projects involving both intelligent automation and general process improvement. All of this work is hugely important, while we remember that our primary mission is to support our BSC partners and external customers with an excellent experience through our service delivery every day. I want to thank each of you for your collaboration, caring, winning spirit, and dedication to the success and growth of BSC APAC. And next time, I truly hope that I'm there to celebrate with you in person and get to meet some of you for the first time. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your meeting.
That was indeed an inspiring message for all of us, and a big thank to Brenda for such valuable words.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward, we have some would you rather questions for our leaders. Can I have an extra mic, please, for this? Now, Supriya, I have a would you rather question for me, and the rules are very simple. A question would have 2 parts. You have to select one and tell us why. Okay? Now, would you rather be able to play any instrument or speak any language? And why?
Instrument.
And why?
The reason is because I'm very close to art and culture, so I think I would love to play the veena.
Oh. Thank you, Supriya, for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
Our next question is for Brajesh. Wait a minute. Oh, yes. Sorry.
So that's a chocolate for everyone.
Our next question is for Brajesh.
Still found me.
Now, Brajesh, would you rather spend a week in a forest or a night in a real haunted house?
I would prefer a forest.
And
I
why?
would prefer a forest.
And why?
I don't like to be haunted.
And I echo that with you.
Thanks. Would you pass this or would you keep this? I will keep this. Oh, thank you.
Now, our next question is for Anand. Here's the mic. So, Anand, would you rather be a firefighter or a police officer?
Difficult one.
Tough
huh?
question.
Tough one. Exactly.
But you have to select one.
Okay. I would rather be a firefighter. Okay.
Okay.
Because you get to see a lot of action, and you're not called corrupt in any ways. So, and you save lives, of course. I mean, police officers do too. But there's a caveat which actually comes with it. So I think firefighter is my option to go with.
Cool. I think we lost BSc Singham here.
Thank you, Anand.
Now, my next question is for Kiran. Kiran? Now, your question is,
Yes.
would you rather become CEO for a day or receive a bonus?
Or
Receive a bonus.
see you for a day. Lot of things to change. That makes sense. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Our next question is for Koni. Hi, Koni.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, Koni, my question for you is, would you rather be a detective or a scientist?
I would like to be a detective.
Yeah, more like Sherlock Holmes.
If I can be so handsome. Because a detective is always very cool, I think.
Well, thank you so much, Koni. And we are sending virtual chocolates for you. I request the team to please hand you over a real one.
Yeah, hold it until I visit India. So reserve it as one box of chocolate.
For sure, Koni. Now, we would like to have the next session taken up by Matthias Zenke, who have joined us virtually for regional finance updates.
So hopefully you can hear me well. If not, please then give me a notice. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak to you or to talk to you a little bit in a couple of minutes. Give you a brief update, verbal update on the financials. It's a little bit. We are doing great at the moment. Not only in this year, but also in the last few years. So we're having a great momentum. And when you put this on the screen where you say, hey, let's make it happen, so far we made it happen. And this is now also the time. So Diaz mentioned, okay, it's unfortunately you can't celebrate it in what was planned, but he promised to do it then in December or later the year. And to having a kind of live event with all of you in a different with a different setting. So it's sometimes to acknowledge but also to celebrate a little bit. And now we're doing this virtually. So overall, our ambition for this year is to grow 14% as a region. So 14%. If you take a look on the global scale, it's usually half of this. Boston Corporate growing roughly at 7 to 8%. So we, as a region, growing 14%, and this is our ambition for 2022, and we are on good track. So we're having a good start in Q1. Then some COVID situation in especially in China brings us a little bit down to 12, but we're having at least a strong Q3 and Q4 ahead of us, and therefore we all need you and to join this journey, that we're meeting our targets. And one part of this one is, and I would like to spend a few minutes on this one. It's Project ACE, where we can really work together from GBS side and from the accounting and from the Apex side, because you're putting in a picture here. I see it here in the back of myself, and you have it there in your office. It's two mountaineers and climbing the hill or climbing the mountain, and I think this is a good sign also for Project ACE working together and to achieving top. Because we, so GBS and also local accounting are service departments, and we have to serve the business with our best capabilities and make it happen. And make it happen means roughly 2.3 billion sales this year, and in 2024 we're targeting 3 billion sales. So this is really would be a great achievement, and the sales can't come without a bone. So it's and we are the bone of the organization. So GBS and the local finance, if we are not performing well, it falls apart, and therefore we have to work together. And you see a little bit on the left side what we are good at in the moment is the functional expertise and transactional execution. But what we want to do better in the future is more going into the decision support, into the change management and business partnering. And of course, Brenda mentioned this about new joiners, but not only the new joiners, but also the old foxes who are already a couple of years with Boston Scientific. We have to develop the people. We have starting with an onboarding session and going along their career path, hopefully until they retire. And they're staying the entire life with Boston. But this needs to be planned. It's not coming all of a sudden. And these kind of capabilities, when we're talking about decision support, change management, business partnering, and people development, we have to put a little bit more focus on this one. But that means putting more focus, meaning more time. But the consequence is we have to do better and using technologies to do our transactional execution and the functional expertise in a structured way. You see it, how to close the gap. It's really so Sudhir and his team, so here the GBS team and the local finance team, we sit together in the last few months and weeks, and now having I think a good or really an excellent roadmap to close the gap, and everybody can join. So it's not a closed shop. It's not that it's saying, hey, somebody does it. It's really we have to do it. We as a team have to do it. It's not that we have to wait for something and say, hey, somebody will do it for us. It's really ourselves. It's our mission to do this. And there was a question to somebody in the audience: would you like to be a CEO of one for a day, or are you getting a bonus? And the answer was, I don't know who did it, and said, okay, I want to be the CEO of the day because there are lots of things to change. And I think this is a good comment. And I like this comment because when somebody says, hey, there are a lot of things to change, yeah, capture those ideas. And I assume he's not the only one. There are a lot of more people say they're maybe either frustrated or saying, hey, this doesn't work, and so on. Don't be shy on this one. Share it with us. Share it also with your managers, share it with the leadership team. And we have to work on this, because if you feel a pain, if you say, hey, that's not right, then we can change it. But it's not that Sudhir or Marcel will change it. We have to change it. So everybody, it's our job as a team to work together and to change it. So can we go for the next slide, please? And this is a little bit, you're having the picture of the two mountaineers, which I like, and you'll see also here then another cartoon. It's about fish and chips. If we combine both elements together, I think we can do really amazing. So a great recipe with fish and chips, and this is the same picture as the two mountaineers. So what we want to do with Project ACE, and Project ACE is really to support the business with on their journey to be a 3 billion region, and not only the 3 billion region in 2024, it's also then beyond it, the 2024 target, and to support and to be ready for the Magellan Go Live which has a huge impact for the entire organization, which maybe a couple of people don't really know what does it mean, but I think it's a huge change. You see all the elements, and I don't want to go through all of them, about people, collaboration, knowledge, process, control, and systems. But I think it's a good bunch of elements which we are currently looking into this one. We're having defined 64 activities for the upcoming months and years to work on. And I think if we can do, I'm not expecting that we can do all 64 because we have still to do a day-to-day job and some other projects, of course. But if we can do a good part of the 64 activities, I think we are in much better position than today. And in much better position than today means we can work and have more time for business partnering, and we have more time talking about people development and hopefully also to have fun and celebrate from time to time. That's also important. Because life is too short to run against certain numbers, it's also we have to celebrate from time to time and enjoy the time. Can I see the next one? So a little bit on a detailed one. So what we are talking about in Project ACE or Program ACE, these are for finance perspective, the standard ones in the areas of purchase to pay, customer to cash, and accounts to report. And in overall, all these kind of three pillars, we're talking about harmonization and alignment within APAC. So we are APAC is a country organization, and when you take a deeper look, there are always deviations inside the country. But having a Magellan ahead of us, we have to align, or getting more alignment with the countries. And here we can really work together as a team again and make it happen. So, but this comes all with change management and to be open for change. So this is clear. Also, so message: don't expect that it's a kind of stable situation. And it will be all coming with a change. Sometimes some changes are minor ones. It's only a new template, but some new processes will come. Some new work will come. Maybe some work will disappear. Hopefully, it's not that it's coming, adding. We have also to look what kind of activities are bringing added value and what kind of activities don't bring added value. So the next one. Give it and as you see here, a deeper view on this one. It's again this A to R, P2P, and C2C. So Dia and myself, we set up an organizational structure on this one, and it's really a partnership. And this you can see. So we're having vertical leads from the local accounting teams and process stewards. From your team from GBS, and they say, hey, there are many things to change. Reach out to these guys, which you see on the screen. Reach out to your line manager and address it. That's my ask to the team, and help us to make it happen. So that's what I wanted to share with you, and hopefully I'm not over time too much. Thanks for the opportunity, and I wish you really a nice event, which is a hybrid one, which I see, so office and virtual session. And thanks for what you all have done so far, and looking forward to working closer to you, with you in the next coming weeks and months. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Matthias, for the insightful updates. I must say, I just agree to him. Change within ourselves, within the team, within the organization, the management, and that's how we all grow. So now, let's move ahead for talent management updates. Our next segment is related to that only.
No. So before we move on to that, we would now request Sudhir to
Okay.
take the session further for the much awaited business updates.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Before I start, let me thank Matthias for taking time and joining us and sharing his views. So he had an open offer for everyone to be a CEO and contribute for the same. So that's a good opportunity. I think we have been building a great partnerships, and Matthias has been a wonderful sponsor for GBS. I think these are opportunities we continue to build. And before I move on to the business updates, I think at the beginning of this town hall, you have seen a video of Pete Nicholas being played. I should say that I'm really fortunate to meet the gentleman, a legend, in 2020, when I was in a next level leadership meeting hosted by Mike Mahoney. And he's the guy who is the founder. And this is what a big learning, the kind of speech he has given to that leadership group of Boston Scientific is such an inspirational. And this is what I learned, and this is a learning for everyone, is that the difference between just a common man and legend never disappears. They're always eternal. I think look at the company they have created. A lot of companies are created just to make money or become famous. But if you look at Boston Scientific, it has been built for a purpose, for the patients, and creating a lot of opportunities of employment. And this is what is truly inspirational for me personally to work for such a wonderful organization. So I think we should all feel really proud to be associated with this organization, which is have a purpose-driven and value-driven. So that's an important element I think we should all realize. Now, moving on, what I'm going to cover. Is this the one? Up and down? Okay. Okay, these are the three topics I want to cover today in terms of what has happening so far and some of the transitions and transformation for 2022 and beyond, and some kind of thoughts which I have on value-driven focus. Yeah. So before I get there, left one or? I should focus this way or this way? Is it the laptop? Okay. So, because we have a lot of new folks joining, GBS and Boston Scientific, one thing is important to understand is what is the GBS vision, right? There's a simple vision for Boston Scientific. How many of you have seen this? Are you all seeing for the first time? Raise hands for people who are seeing for the first time. Don't feel bad about it. Be open about it. There's nothing wrong. Okay, because I'm going to ask questions for people who are not raising. Shall I? So it looks like a lot of people know vision and strategy about GBS. But what does GBS stands for? Anyone? Can we be louder, guys? Global business services. So the important element is services. And then this year we added solutions to the statement as a leadership, because the value comes from not just doing a service. The value comes from providing solutions to what we do. Right? Please keep it in mind. And now, what is strategy of global business services? Anyone want to take a chance? Raise your hands. What is GBS strategy? Okay, that's one of the strategy. I can see people are reading on the slide. I'll give you a hint. There are 5 strategy pillars. Now, can you start guessing? Anyone? The new folks, the old folks?
Problem solving.
What's the first one? This is the first critical pillar of the strategy. Our existence is because we say that we focus on service delivery excellence. On excellence, not just processing a transaction. Right? This is the first pillar of the strategy. What is the second one? End-to-end optimization. Is it what it is? Brilliant. Which means we are not just sitting and processing a transaction. We are looking at how do we improve the process end-to-end. It is not doing an activity or a task by itself. Right? As a GBS, we have a lot of end-to-end ownership, whether it is an ATR process or a P2P process or a CTC process. There are a lot of processes which GBS owns, including the systems. Right? What's the next one? Value improvement. Okay, is it one? Wonderful. So people are now picking up. So what does value improvement mean? Anyone? Come on, guys. I'm expecting a participation. If you're expecting that I'm going to talk and you're going to listen, that's not going to happen. Anyone? We'll get a chocolate. Yeah, Sanjeev. Improvement best. What does improvement mean? Better way of doing what we're doing. No one from outside is going to come and say that you improve the process. We have to figure out how to improve our process. Agree? Yeah? And this is the important element. What's the next one? Next one, guys. Global high performing. It looks like only Swati, who spent 5+ years in the organization, knows everything. Alka. You want to go next one? Yeah? So it's the global high performing teams. What does global high performing teams mean? Anyone, guys? What does it mean? What is high performing mean? Okay, this side, at the behind, back. Someone make it an attempt? Someone is trying to say something here? Yes. Maintaining accuracy. What else? Then don't say it is meeting SLAs. Meeting SLAs is given. Maintaining accuracy, maintaining SLA, maintaining time, that's all given. High performing teams means we are going beyond what we expected. We are delivering excellence, not a mediocre performance, right? We will be more reliable, we are consistent, and we are awesome, right? So on this note, give a big round of applause to all of you. So because we believe the GBS have the high performing teams, and that's where we want to focus as a leadership. And that's where I'm going to talk about today on some of the things, how we're going to build, continue to build. There's a lot of trainings which you're going to invest, and there's a lot of trainings existing in the organization. But specific to GBS, folks, as a leadership group, we already lined up a lot of trainings there. Yeah? What's the last one? I said 5. So what is the last one? Hint. Hint is already on the slide. What is it? Valued partner, guys. That's it. See how simple it is? So is it all clear right now? Yeah? I think it's very important to understand, if we're working for a function or an organization, what is important for all of us to understand? So what is the strategy for this function or an organization? What is the vision for this organization? Yeah? So that's very important. So please remember these things, because these are not, words on a slide. It is our responsibility as a GBS, function. We start driving these behaviors, right? That has to be our focus. Yeah? So let's move on to the next slide then. Okay. So this is a slide I shared at the beginning of the year in the Q1 Town Hall. I don't know how many people remember Q1 Town Hall. No wonder. May not be many of you. But this is the goals what we signed up for. These are the goals we signed up at the beginning. And what I feel really good about is, out of this, we almost achieved 70% of these goals. So now again, big round of applause to all of you for making this happen. And some of the focus areas we have, and you see that there is a value improvement, right? Value improvement is our one of the strategies. And what is the goal we have? How much? What is the value we are aiming for? 600K. Do you know how much we have achieved so far? Mid of the year? Anyone at this back? I don't know, people can see. Any guesses? How much? 450, okay, that's one number. What are the other numbers? Raj is not allowed to speak, he is the VA champion. Who else, guys? I know there's a finance guy who is also not supposed to speak. Yeah, so it is around 400K, right? So mid of the year, 400K, we are still short of how much? Only 200K. We should aim high, right? We need more money. So that's good. I think we are on track with this. Similarly, on other goals, what we have, we are almost finished a lot of transitions. For example, if you look at MyBuy, we already implemented in India, ANZ, right, and Penang. Now, there are a lot of other things which we are lined up as part of the focus on this, right? So we have a very, very focused goals this year, and I'm very happy that each one of you are contributing in achieving this because it's a collective goals. It's not just my goals. This the goals of the entire GBS APAC team. So thank you again in terms of staying, on track with these and trying to exceed these numbers. Yeah. So what I want to really focus more on is on the next slide, because a lot of you might be wondering, right, in terms of, okay, these are the goals we have, and we want to know what's happening next, what is our future, what's going to change, the years to come, right? And if you move to the next slide, there are three important areas, and I want you guys to really, really understand these, because this is going to be a very critical aspect for each one of you working in Boston Scientific and in GBS, right? If you look at the number of transitions, still we have to still complete, which means there's a lot of growth. And I just put some numbers there, around 15 headcount, and just a number. People understand growth as just saying that, oh, we need more processes and more people in the organization. That's not only the growth. Growth is also about how are we improvising and eliminating a lot of waste and making the processes more meaningful, and the way we work is also more meaningful. If you look at the number of transitions, these transitions will happen in the rest of the year and also in 2023, where people who are interested in applying for these through IJPs and talking to your managers if you want to rotate a job and opportunities. I'm sure today Megha will talk about how much rotational opportunities we have provided, how many people really expanded their scope of work, and also ventured into new areas. So these will open up a lot of opportunities for each one of you based on how you are interested in, how you're going to pick up and be part of this growth. So there is no dearth of work coming our way. So this is one big focus in terms of how much more work we are adding. Similarly, there's a lot of work in terms of the system implementation automation. That's the true value we add. We have an amazing RPA team, intelligent automation team, led by Nitesh in the region here, and we have a global team. They're investing good projects in terms of automating a lot of processes. We have a reporting team who does a lot of automation too, right? So there is a lot of good talent, and we have great opportunities to capitalize on. So it is up to us, each one of you, don't come to office and think that my work is only just processing, right? We are not just, we should not look at as a processors. We should look at as a business people, because there is a business happening behind the processing. So I want you guys to change your mindset that you are not just coming and doing a processing, whether it's an order processing or processing a transaction. There is a lot of business and revenue we're supporting for our organization to help generate, right? So these are great opportunities. People want to upskill themselves, right? That will give you opportunity to grow. Growth is not always vertical. Growth is also lateral. When you keep on learning and expanding your scope, that's how eventually you'll grow. So one of the mindset I want you guys to be open is there's a lot more opportunities. I mean, I couldn't put many on these slides, but at a high level, if you see, there are great opportunities for everyone. And if you look at on the transition side, as well as the system implementation side, we have MyBuy. With MyBuy, we have created a new team altogether, right? There are people like Satya and others moved into the MyBuy. We have hired a lot of new folks who are supporting the sourcing there. So these opportunities are evolving and we are establishing new processes. That means that we as a GBS team, we are continuing to expand and learn and venturing into new areas. The IRF process, which Anand's team is leading, is very new. It's a legal process, if people don't know. That's a new scope we added. So every year there's a lot of opportunities coming our way, but it is up to each one of you. Each one of you, don't put your responsibility on your managers. You have to be passionate and hunger for learning. That's very important. If you just walk in and say that, okay, I had to come and do my job and I'm gone, you're not making any impact. So one thing I want you guys to start thinking is, there are opportunities. It is up to each one of you how you prepare yourself. And have the meaningful conversations with managers, saying, yeah, this is my aspiration, can you help me? That's when the conversation happens, meaningfully. If not, it is all vague. And neither you will achieve anything, neither your manager will achieve anything. So one of the things I want you guys to take away is, start thinking there is a big picture. The reason I started with the GBS strategy is, this GBS strategy is not just on the slide. We are making it happen. And there are 4 important projects. If you look at the transformation, this transformation is a 3 to 5 years journey. And each of these elements, like if you look at the ACE program, which Matthias covered, it's a huge transformation for entire financial control team, accounting team. So there are a lot of opportunities where people are part of it, which is going to help you learn new things and support new processes there. So that's one of the biggest transformation project. The second project you see is the Magellan. Magellan, you don't feel what is happening right now because you don't have visibility. But as far as I'm concerned as a leader, that's the thing in next 3 to 5 years for entire Boston Scientific. Magellan is not a system implementation alone. It is a transformation. The way we do processing will change. The way we operate in Boston Scientific will change. So that is the reason we have a full-time role, which we posted, and Rohit Bharadwaj is going to now lead from GBS APAC team. So it's going to change the way we do accounting. The way we process transactions will change. So it's a huge transformation for each one of you to learn those systems. So be prepared for more futuristic. Don't worry about what is happening currently. Start thinking about what next and how do we contribute to these transformation programs. Yeah? Doesn't matter your what level in the organization, what processes you're doing. But these are the great opportunities for someone to step up and say that I want to be part of these programs. And we will find opportunities to get you aligned to those. But the interest and volunteering thing has to come from you guys. Yeah? So Magellan is a big transformation across the organization. It's going to start with impacting with this year. The rollout is going to happen end of this year. And then Asia Pac will come down the 2 years. But we will have to start preparing for this. So there's a lot of work and new roles and new opportunities will come our way. Yeah? And then the Dalian strategy project. The team in China is very interested. So you all know that we have a center in Dalian, which is outsourced to Accenture. We have a new strategy there. And we are building those strategy. And thanks to Kony, we have a project name for this Dalian strategy. The name of the project is Lian, right? This is such a interesting name which Kony coined. So thanks, Kony. And we will be calling no more like Elvis project. We call for Noida insourcing. We call it Elvis. Now we will be calling it the Dalian project as Lian, right? So no more we're going to call it Dalian. So this is a good name. It's a very meaningful name, and we're going to continue to build it. So there are a lot of growth opportunities going to come through those Dalian projects. If right now, if you see that we have an accounting team, both South Asia and North Asia. And the last bullet point which you see, the APAC or COE is, it is going to be one team, which means people in South Asia can support the North Asia processes. The people in North Asia can help us, on the South Asia. So it's going to be one team, which will open up a lot of learning opportunities for each one of you, right? The reason which you're getting under Brajesh, both APAC and EMEA, that will help people rotate opportunities and leverage each other's skills and bandwidth. Similarly, that's going to apply for the accounting teams. So we are evolving in the direction, and we have the new leaders will emerge. And up to you guys, how are you going to start building it? So it's very important to understand what's the transformation happening within the organization. And these are phenomenal learning opportunities. If you're just focusing on a shell, saying that it is what my role is, you will struggle. So understand the big picture, understand these more details. Today we have a very high level view on ACE. Rohit can spend some time in explaining what's happening in Magellan. So be part of these large transformations. That's when the true learning happens. Yeah? So the lot more to come. It's up to each one of you and each one of us how we want to be on board with this, how each one of you can really contribute, and that's how you make a difference. Yeah? So this is one thing which I want to leave you with thought, that there are opportunities. If people are thinking what next, there is so much next for us to do. Yeah? Now, my last slide, and this is where I want to just, I don't know if you can move on. This is where I want you guys to really, really be attentive. These are the things which I'm sharing today, guys, which will help you in your life and how, as a professional, you will shape up. It is not about how many years we work. It is about our value-driven focus. Everything we do in an organization, we create a brand for ourselves. That brand, what we create for ourselves, individually, irrespective of the level you are in the organization, is very, very important. And that's when I see a lot of people don't focus on. What I want to share with you guys, and please, please, please follow this very carefully. This is where if you are serious about your career, understand these things and start implementing it. As a GPS organization, I started the presentation saying that we had to be solution-oriented. Just delivering a service is not value. If we have to be an organization which is a value-driven focus, the first and most important thing is be solution-oriented. And a lot of people will be wondering, solution-oriented? Solution-oriented for whom? For our customers, right? It's only for customers to be solution-oriented, for ourselves as well. A lot of people think that I'm unable to find solution for my own problems. What a damn care for the customers. But I want you to start thinking very differently. If you can't solve our own problems, that means you are not developing a mindset of being solution-oriented. No one else from outside can come and tell us the solution for our own problems. So what I want you guys to start developing, the skill of solution-oriented. There will be people making mistakes. There will be things which we falter. There will be some things of our colleagues or someone will make mistakes. But as long as we are coming with the mindset of solving those problems and giving those solutions to the customers when they're coming and saying that, can you help us? Rather than going back and asking, why should I help you? You'll be surprised there are people who will say that I'm very busy. I don't have time to help you. But remember, you're losing an opportunity to help a colleague, help a customer. So first and foremost important thing for you guys to remember is be solution-oriented. People boil the problems. Just focusing on problem, it happened. That's fine. Let's move on and fix it. Yeah? So one of the behaviors I want you guys to start, that's when we drive value. The second important element is be accountable and not just responsible. Do you guys understand this? The difference between accountable and responsibility? What does it mean?
I think it's being proactive.
Okay. Being proactive. What else? This is what happens in most of the time. This is what you guys, most of the time happens in most of the offices. And this is what I want you guys to really, really think and change. If some request comes, right, we send our email saying that my job is done. So for example, you are following up for processing a payment. What do? You send a file and say that my job is done. Because you're only responsible for processing the file. Payment is done by someone else. But you damn care whether the payment actually has been processed or not. So what I'm trying to say is, start thinking like a big picture. Don't think that everything is responsibility or accountable of your manager. You guys have to start behaving like a manager to grow in the organization. Responsibility doesn't mean that I'm just only confined to what I'm supposed to do. People who will grow in an organization or learn more is when they start demonstrating accountability. People saying, it's not my job. My SOPs are defined. And recently I saw in a very interesting video where, it was pouring heavily. The rain is pouring heavily, and I see a municipal corporation watering plants, and they published that video saying that on duty and responsibly, because they were given a job to plant water daily. They have a task. Oh, they're doing a responsible job, but where is accountability? What are they doing through that? They're wasting water. When it is raining, you don't need to water it again. So these are small things, guys, but these mistakes we also do in our office. But what we don't do is we don't recognize them unless someone tells us. So what I want to tell you is that step up. I see a lot of people come and say, I need growth. I have spent 3 years in the organization. I spent 5 years in the organization. Believe me, guys, none of the organization will give you a growth unless the behavior and attitude and the mindset you come along with your performance. Performance is given. That's non-negotiable. But beyond performance, if you have a mindset of taking accountability and not put everything on your manager and your team, if each one of us starts performing with an accountability, we have a happy place. Because everyone is working towards making things easy. And that's what my next point is. The important element is be easy to work with. If people are coming to GBS and talking to, people should feel that how easy to work with GBS. That is the brand we have to build. If you're not building that brand of easy to work with, what will happen? People say it is a toxic environment. Oh, I can't operate in this environment. Who is creating the toxic environment in the organization? We people. We expect others to behave well, but we don't behave well with others. Do you agree? Yeah? And we'll give n number of reasons. We will give n number of reasons why you are a busy person in the organization. You're much even busier than anyone else. So one of the important thing is for you to start being a solution oriented, for you guys to be wanted to be an accountable, first be easy to work with. People should not be scared to come to you. You know what? There are people who will see from a distance. You don't even like to go and say hello to them. Why? They are very serious business. Entire company is shouldering on them. I want you guys to come out of it. If the customer is coming to you, if your colleague is coming to you, if your leader is coming to you, or someone else is coming to you, give an impression, give an opportunity and give a feeling. And do genuinely that you are an easy person to work with. A lot of people come to me and my colleagues whom I worked in my last 20 years. Some people have grown well, some people didn't. Is not the lack of the skill, lack of technicality. Technicality you all will learn. I don't need to teach. But where they fail is these behaviors. They create toxic. People will be scared. Mistakes will happen. You don't need to shout and create a panic. So when you go with the mindset of, easy to work with, that's where you build a cohesive team. Because the success depends on not just individual performance. It is collective performance across GBS. And I want everyone to start focusing on those. That's when we will have a meaningful careers and meaningful work. Yeah? So you're not your just number of years define your growth alone. So see that your colleagues are easy to work with you, and you are easy to work with the others as well. Yeah, it's both ways. Do you agree? The last and important point, guys, is about be valuable. How do you become valuable? By investing yourself in learning. If you don't learn, what will happen? What will happen? You can't add value. So it is important for you guys to be valuable. And the value comes from all the things which I mentioned just now. If you have a valuable resource, you don't need to run behind opportunities. Opportunities will come to you. Do you agree? Yeah? So the inspiration for you guys to be a valuable individual, an individual people like to work with, an individual people enjoy working with you, and be an individual who is inspirational. Only leaders doesn't need to inspire. Each one of you is a leader in your own self. Because each one of you are defining your own careers. Each one of you are defining a path in your life, whether it is a personal or professional. And balancing both is equally important. Everyone will have challenges. Believe me, everyone will have challenges. Some will struggle personally, some will struggle professionally. But running away from those challenges is the person who is, people only do who are not courageous. When we have challenges, we have to come together and work together and live each of these values and be very, very mindful. And this is all what I'm talking is not that you all not aware of. You're really aware of, but how many people really implement these in their careers? I've seen brilliant qualified people, double qualified, triple qualified people, chartered accountants, IIMs, but not everyone will reach the peak. Only few. Because your qualification alone will not take you. Your technical capability alone will not take you. What will take you is what kind of individual are you? What brand you are creating in the organizations? And how do your colleagues feel about you? That defines your value. How does your customers feel? Does your customers feel scary coming to GBS? Because you are very rude? Because you will only follow SOPs? Like that, the waterman in the municipal corporation, watering plants, because he said, they told that instruction that he has to do planting water daily. So we need to be a more value driven in that sense. Yeah? And the last important point I want to drive is value is driven through values. Value is driven through values. That is the reason I requested Kiran to put those Boston Scientific amazing 6 values. If you turn back and see on the wall, you have these 6 values on the floor. Right? The reason is I want each of the global business services employees, people, should be motivating for others. If someone talks to you guys and they come back to me and say that, wow, Sudhir, you have a great team. You know what is the biggest satisfaction I get? Not what I earn. What is the biggest satisfaction is when the customer tells to me, Sudhir, we love working with GBS. That is the most meaningful satisfaction I get. And I'm sure a lot of you are living with these values. On this note, I want to thank each one of you for continuing to live these values and continue to focus on building that brand for each one of you and also for the function and the organization at the end. Right? All 3 are linked. Your personal brand, the functional brand, as well as the organizational brand. That's where we collectively build an amazing organization. And that's when each one of you will start enjoying working. Each one of you will enjoy coming to office. And that's where I think it's important. Believe me, work will happen. Work will happen. All that I'm saying is make work fun. Be happy. Come and contribute. Have the focus of value. Don't come to office because I have an SLA to deliver. Come out of the mindset. If people really want to grow, come out of the mindset of just processing a transaction. Find value in everything you do. And that's what we are entering a journey. Remember I talked about the transformation? The transformation is all about the value. Value as a GBS. Are you guys with me? Yeah? With that, I'll just pause here and thank you once again, and I will be happy if I have time for any questions now or later. If you guys need help, reach out to me, reach out to leaders. There is nothing like a career stopper. There is nothing like, a boundary. Sky is the limit. But I want each one of you to equally be excited of these opportunities. Are you all with me? Yeah? Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for a wonderful job you do. And you make me look good. So I really appreciate all your hard work. Don't think that Sudhir is sitting in the cabin, he doesn't know what is happening. I do know what is happening. I do know about each one of you. Okay? And because I really want each one of you to succeed, and collectively as GBS APAC team, when we celebrate in the December 2022, that's where we all feel good of collectively what we achieved, guys. And thank you for being a wonderful team and such a committed. And that's where, as I mentioned, gives me a lot of pride in leading this team. Thank you.
Well, can we have, again, a big round of applause for Sudhir? That was indeed an insightful session. But Sudhir, I would like to call you again, as we have some video questions, would you rather questions for you as well.
I didn't expect this. Okay.
So Sudhir, would you rather be friends with Amitabh Bachchan or Sachin Tendulkar? And why?
Both are great celebrities, no doubt. I don't match my height with Amitabh. I better go with Sachin Tendulkar. For two reasons, guys. One, certainly he's a legend, Amitabh is a legend, but I like sports. And certainly sportsmen are more disciplined than the movie stars. That's what I feel. As I mentioned, on a lighter note, I match my height with Sachin Tendulkar than Amitabh.
Now my second question for you is, would you rather write...
You guys asked only one question for others, ask two questions.
But especially two for you.
Okay.
Would you rather write a New York Times bestseller or win an Olympic gold medal?
What's the first one?
A New York Times bestseller.
And the second one is?
Olympic gold medal.
So I would go with Olympic gold medal, guys. The reason is that you represent India or represent a country, and I think that's more satisfying than just being a bestseller.
Thank you so much, Sudhir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Can
Sudhir.
we have that chocolate for Sudhir as well?
Two chocolates.
Anyone wants? Okay, for the ladies here.
Thank
you,
you so
guys.
much, Sudhir. Now we would like to request Megha, HR Manager, IT Global Business, for some talent management updates.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm feeling that I'm now a hurdle between the most exciting part of this afternoon but won't take too much of your time. And we thought that this is important for each of us to know what's going on. As Sudhir mentioned, that there's a lot happening in terms of talent movement, rotation. There's a lot where, as a team, we all are investing in terms of finding out what is that we can do for all of us in terms of training, in terms of development, in terms of overall, how we look at our talent. So just a quick update from my side, and quickly start with one snapshot or initial one or two snapshot of how as a HR team we have divided our focus area for 2022 into three major, I would say, pillar of elevate, evolve, and engage. Definitely these themes come out of our core value, which we believe in Boston Scientific in terms of caring, winning spirit, diverse culture, high performance, and everything. And that's where we divided all these pillars into all, to grow, develop, and retain our talent. Not compromising on the high performance, definitely. That's what our core value is all about. And it's not only about GBS or BSc India, it's in BSc throughout. Moving to the next slide, where we have further segmented our approach of talent into a narrowed down approach of acquisition of talent as well as developing them. That is what the focus area for us for this year. We are looking at that business expansion since happening all across one BSc in India, even outside as well. Another is the different kind of talent we have, those who are with this organization for a while, being with us, how we can develop them, how we can nurture them, how we can focus in terms of segmenting our talent from an individual contributor to a people leader to somebody who's newly joined in the organization, as well as a new people manager who just started taking up responsibility of people under them. It's not only limited to work, it is also about how do we develop our talent. And it is not only one person's responsibility like a leader's responsibility or HR's responsibility. I think it's a combined responsibility of each of us to look at our holistic development in terms of individual as well. Today I go and maybe nominate your leader, go and nominate you in any of the trainings. But if you don't feel the need or the necessity of devoting your time and understanding the thing doesn't make any sense. So it is always a two-way street that my leader investing my time on me, on my development, it is 100% should be from your side. Then only we will be able to make a meaningful development for our own self. And as Sudhir mentioned, it is not only about horizontal or vertical growth that, hey, I want to move to a next level, I want to do this, that. Sometimes it is all about going out of the way and understanding something which you are not capable of. And I think in few of my interaction, I did mention it very clearly that I'm being an HR, I'm through and through in HR. Maybe at one point in time, I would like to say, hey, I want to understand the accounting. Maybe I want to understand something from the customer care, how you guys work on your order processing and all. And nobody stops me for that, right? It just takes a step to move forward and approach the right person that's what I want to learn. And there's no harm. Tomorrow, when I come for a discussion with any of you, I will be able to understand your business better, your work better, will be able to understand day to day how it works, right? So it is always very open for each of us how we take our development along, not only limited to certain areas which we are doing, but just expand your horizon, think broad that how you all can move and think that apart from my area, what all I can learn. And I think Boston Scientific is an organization. I've been with Boston Scientific for 7 years now. In this role, 4 years, before that in different role. One thing which I like Boston Scientific is if you are ready to put your hands into some other thing in your development, I think it's an organization who would love to give you an opportunity. Don't think about what level I have to work extra hours and all of those things. That is up to us how we decide. And that is what I just meant to say, that engaging into talent development there is no line in terms of that these are the rule book which we have to follow. But as an individual, when we look at that, it's a broad horizon. And it is very individual specific that how we want to take that. As an organization, as a leader, we can certainly guide you, nominate, coach, mentor. But ultimately, it is individual responsibility as well, how we absorb, how we take that opportunity. So these are the 4 major pillars which I was talking about in terms of talent development and acquisition, considering that the way we are expanding as an organization. One is define priority and revisit the ways of working we have. Enhance performance and derive culture. That is very important. When I say derive culture, it is about culture, collaboration, learning culture, acceptability, what is coming our way, not being choosy about that, hey, I don't want to do this, I want to do this kind of thing. Consolidate structure, the build ownership of the projects, of the work. And when I say ownership, not only limited to 1 person or 2 person, but as a overall, if somebody is investing of me, it is my ownership as well to absorb and give it back to the organization. Leverage ourselves as a employer brand in the market. Boston Scientific, if we have to talk about, we came in 2010-11 here, established ourselves as an organization, as a med device, as a sales organization. Slowly and gradually, we are moving towards different, I would say, segment within the market, which is like definitely R&D, IT, GBS, and within GBS also different service line, different kind of talent pool altogether available in the market. So building that talent pool, building that brand in the market by doing different intervention, maybe reaching out to different colleges, different industry forum, and everything. So that's the approach from a talent, strategy from a talent development and acquisition standpoint. Next slide. Okay. From a talent development, now again narrowing down it to the talent development, okay? Acquisition is a little bit broader statement from that standpoint. What are the priorities which we thought from organization standpoint, which we should focus this year, again, as I mentioned, we have a very, very mixed pool of talent. People who are tenured in the organization, people who are new in the organization with the EMEA CC team and other teams coming up. There are people, those who are first-time manager, there are people who are individual contributor, tenured people manager, new hires, everyone. The whole idea is all about building one, definitely leadership capability. How we can leverage our diverse talent. Diverse talent, when I say it, is not limited to gender diversity. It is limited to how cross-functionally we can rotate, how cross-functionally we can cross-train our people from one capability to other capability. It is not only about the organization, but at the end of the day, this increase the marketability of that talent as well. That, hey, I am from this core stream, but I know this as well. I worked on this project as well. So that is the whole idea about the diverse talent or diverse movement I was talking about. Then building a strong pipeline for our internal talent. We know that there's a lot of talent movement which keep happening within the organization, outside the organization. As an organization, it is very important for us to build that strong pipeline within the organization where we feel that if anybody is ready to move and take up another role where there is a probability, you are, I would say, ready in terms of taking up the responsibility with little bit of definitely learning curve which is there for everyone. So these are the big pointers which is coming out from this slide. And also, when I said that there are diverse talent, I said diverse definitely in terms of the capability and all, but at the same time, we also want to promote our diverse talent, which is gender diversity, which is our women talent, in terms of how we can support them, how we can help in terms of building those people into a leadership capability. When I say leadership capability, it is not limited to somebody taking a leadership role, but leadership capability is a broader term. In terms of somebody who is driving or maybe leading a project, maybe having those kind of conversation with the stakeholder. So leadership is a very broad term in terms of understanding, and we are all a leader in our own way. But how we can, I would say, improve those skills to be our own leader. Anand, move to the next slide, please. All right, okay, thank you. So this is after the priority which I have discussed. These are the approach which we have taken at least for this year. I've been talking about this segment of talent in terms of people leader, individual contributor, first-time manager, and new hires, right? So looking at these kind of 4 categories, this year, one, we have decided reaching out to people manager in terms of that what is the need for their team, in terms of the training need. It could be functional, it could be a behavioral training. Based on the need which we have received from your leader, there are certain mappings which has been done on the list of the training which is available, which you'll see in my next slide. Not only limited to behavioral training, but there are certain functional trainings also which your leaders and everybody will focus upon. There are important things which I keep on telling everyone whenever I meet, do any kind of connect, that your IDPs, which is your individual development plan, which you need to work with your manager in terms of agreed and look at them how you can approach, basis on your PTC discussion with your manager and all. It is not a, I would say, year-end discussion. It is not a 6-monthly discussion. It is more about an ongoing discussion because it's your own development, nobody else's. It is, you are owner of your own development. Your manager or your leader or mentor or coach can be an enabler for your development, who could help you, guide you in terms of providing resources, connecting you to the right people. But it is you who has to identify what are those areas, what I need to do, and how I can approach them. People Leader Forum, which I was talking about, was an extensive exercise we have done this year. It really took a lot in terms of for your manager also to go back to the team, getting the inputs, and then working with us in terms of that what are those needs and how we are doing those mappings. And now with those mappings, we are definitely ready to deliver those trainings to the people for our GBS team. Anand, can we move to the next slide? Okay, this is a slide which I was to talk about in terms of the talent management initiative which we have done so far, which is like this 6 months. Recently, we have launched a program called We Lead. This is exclusively for women leaders, which we have picked up through one BSc campus from each businesses. This is again to develop committed women leadership in the campus and also strengthening their leadership capabilities. It's a 6 months program with multiple intervention and with an external partner, which is SHRM, who is partnering with us delivering this program through training model, through imperative coaching. So there is a big curriculum for that, and this is especially for our women leaders. I was talking about People Forum. People Forum is nothing but a comprehensive talent management intervention which we have done, cutting across all the teams based out of India, working with their leaders, finding out that what is the need for them basis on the PDC discussions they had with their manager. It could be a functional, it could be a behavioral skill set. Majority of them are definitely behavioral. And basis on that, along with our L&D partner, which is Vincent, who is not here, we did mapping of all the trainings for all of you. And those trainings will be delivered with the balance of the year, with a trailing calendar which recently been launched. So it is not about one day that everybody can come. There is a whole plan for the year with multiple dates. And managers and you can choose which date suits you basis on your closing, your work deliverables, and everything, keeping in mind for the training you have been suggested for. Opt, do that training, get something fruitful out of it, and implement on your work. And that is where you will be able to see that how the momentum is happening. We definitely don't want to do any random job here. That's the reason a detailed discussion consultation process had happened, because training effectiveness is the key out of everything. I can, or your manager can randomly go and nominate you for any training, but that doesn't make sense. It's not good for you. Then we do have a Rising Leader program. One batch which was already there, which will restart soon again, somewhere mid of this year again. And also the new batch commencing in September 2022. There are certain changes which had happened into the program in terms of external partner and all. I don't have much details to disclose right now because there is a program manager who is working on it. Hence, not much of the details which I have mentioned here. Moving to the next slide, which I was talking about, the teams or the list of training which we are talking about, which is the outcome of our People Forum. These are the training which we have identified for all the individuals based on the role they are doing in terms of individual contributor, people manager, manager pathway, team synergy, situational leadership, LIFO. For the new people, those who have joined BSc, I'm sure they are not aware of any of these trainings because of the COVID. We were not doing these trainings effectively offline, and that's the reason. With now we all are back to office, all these trainings will happen on site in the training room in the campus. That is the whole idea, so that it is not that people have joined on Teams meeting, at the same time they are doing their work, and doesn't make any sense just to join any training for the purpose of putting attendance into the sheet. So all these trainings will happen on campus, and Vincent will be the trainer for all these trainings. So whosoever, with your managers, you have been identified or mapped under these trainings for the balance of the year under the People Forum exercise. With this, I would like to move to the last slide of my segment, and which is the interesting one. Again, Sudhir did mention that what had happened this year in terms of talent rotation, role expansion, and everything. These are the number of people we have who moved from either one role to another role, stretched their self in terms of taking additional responsibility. We can see good number in our leadership as well. So it is not about limited to one level or one group. You can see it all across. And there are few people, those who are not part of this list, which is from EMEA team. They also moved from EMEA CC team to ANZ team. There are people, those who are doing stretch assignments. There are people, those who are doing their cross-functional training with different departments. Again, it is more about building that capability for yourself. I definitely am proud to see this slide, to be very honest. And I was just waiting that this slide should come, and where we as a leadership or we as a team can feel proud that, hey, there is a lot happening, and there are people, those who are moving from one vertical to another or from one function to another. And this should be the focus for all of us going forward in terms of developing ourselves, leveraging the opportunity we have within the organization, and making it happen for our own self as a success, for our own development. That's all from my side from a slide standpoint. And I would like to take a pause and would like to give a big hand to all of us. We all are doing great. We are great. And all the best to all of you. Thank you. With this, we'll move to the next segment.
Thank you so much, Megha, for that. So before moving ahead, let's have some fun with some great riddles, some funny riddles, I must say. So whosoever, I'm going to ask some riddles to you guys, and whosoever knows the answer, please raise your hand. So my first riddle goes like that. What building has the most stories? Does anyone know? I repeat that again. What building has the most stories? Sorry?
Who said that?
Oh,
This library is correct.
yeah.
Can we have a
Can
chocolate?
we have
for
the
him?
chocolate, please? A big round of applause for him.
I can ask the second question. Move ahead.
Okay. So another one is, what has 4 wheels and flies? I repeat that again. What has 4 wheels and flies? No. It doesn't have flies. Anyone else would like to guess?
Just take a guess.
Come on. What has 4 wheels and flies? Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Can we have the chocolate? Yeah. Thank you. And my last riddle. What is the second most happiest day in corporate life? That though everyone should know. The second most day. Bonus day. That comes once in a year.
Go ahead, Prashant. Go ahead.
I'll have the chocolate then.
You can have that.
Sure. You can have.
It's our next segment, R&R.
Ah, that's true.
Well, R&R
That's
can be
correct.
taken every day then. So with that, I would like to call upon Vanshika to do a bit more heavy lifting now for the segment that we are all eagerly waiting for, and that is rewards and recognitions. Please make some noise. This is for you.
Hello everyone. So finally the time has arrived for this most awaited and most excited part of this town hall. So I'll ask one question from everyone and you all have to answer this question together with your louder voice, okay? How's the Josh?
Hi.
How's the Josh?
Hi.
How's the Josh?
Hi. Doesn't look like guys.
Yes. How's the Josh?
Hi.
No, not high. So the last time I really want the high Josh. How's the Josh? All right. One more time. How's the Josh? So I'm Vanshika and I'm a part of HRBP team and I am 2 months old in this organization. As we all have done the fantastic job in last 6 months, so it's time to give a round of applause to ourselves first. So can we have a round of applause? Louder. Not louder. More louder. More louder. Whole office should know that GBS has done the fantastic job in last 6 months. Thank you, Supriya. Congratulations to all the winners. So, let's move on to the next category of award, winning spirit. Any guesses who will the winner of this? No guesses? चलो फिर next पे चलते हैं. Any guesses?
Everyone.
All right. So, GBS. Definitely. So, to present this award, I would request Brajesh to come over the stage.
DJ ASAM, 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 ASAM.
So, the winners are Sanjeev Kumar, Anand Mohan, Kunal Bhardwaj, Seenu Chaubey, Jack Young. So I would request all the winners to come on the stage. Sanjeev. These are awards. Anand. Kunal. Kunal. Seenu. Seenu! More louder. And thank you. Koni, can you please hand over this award to Jack? All right. So let's move on to the next category of award, which is meaningful innovation. No guesses? I would request to Anand to present this award. Any guesses? Any random guess? Not GBS this time. Smart move. So the winners are Aman Sharma,
DJ
Anup
ASAM,
Thomas.
ASAM.
Thank you, Anand. Congratulations to all the winners. So let's move on to the next category of award, which is global collaboration. Again, how many numbers of winners we have in this category? Right.
Volume kam karna. Okay, guys. As we prepared for taking the group picture, there are people whom I really want to thank for making this event, successful, right? And there is a core team. I would like to call them here. One is Prashant. Prashant, thank you. Second person is Kunal Bharadwaj. Amazing host. Can we give him a big round of applause, guys? And who else? Sakshi Sharma. Thank you, Sakshi. Good job. And then I have a few more people, just so that I don't forget the names. Rekha Sharma. It's your day, Rekha. Thank you. And then Alka Soni. Thank you, Alka. Where is Meera? Where is Mega? So I also want to specially thank Richa. Where is Richa? Where is Richa? Richa, come forward. Let's give her a big round of applause for driving this. All the t-shirts what you got. You all got watches?
Yes.
Yes. So Richa, somewhere place the voucher. You get the voucher, and thank you everyone. I think this is our event. We have thought wisely to celebrate an office for sure. Certainly we will celebrate in a big way at the end of the year. But do join us for the photographs.
Yeah,
I hope you all get the t-shirts. If people didn't get the t-shirts, please collect and quickly change and come to the entrance of the lobby of this building. Okay, let's gather quickly. I think we are running out of time, and then we also have to lunch in the cafeteria. Thank you. I'll see you all downstairs.
Thank you, everyone.